Hi, this is Kevin joining.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hi.
Hi. So please, to everybody who didn't use the polls so far, vote for you so that I have a good number there for my little statistics.
Joining conference.
Frank Kaminsky.
Joining conference.
Michael Franz.
Hello.
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 Okay, I think one more minute and then we'll start. Okay. I think we can start now. I'll show the broadcast results to you here. So these are the results of my little poll. And yeah, I'd
Joining
like to
conference.
Switch over to the rules report, which shows the rules that I present every time. So what we do here in the XStepCafe is we exchange experience and discuss common problems, share tips and tricks. And what we don't do especially is consulting on specific customer issues. This is not a training replacement and, of course, not an OSS replacement. And every session will be recorded. Okay. In our last meeting, we have decided to talk a little bit on weighing scenario using the XStep technology. And I'm switching over to the video presentation here. And show you the camera. So this is my little setup here. One weight scale and some containers here, and some raw materials I've put here on the right. On the back you see some barcodes for the weighing room and for the weighing devices. And of course we've got also barcodes on the containers and on the raw material vessels. To ease the process, I've consolidated these materials to two bottles only, so
joining conference
in the bottle, which is of course not possible in real life. So I will share now my computer screen. And yeah, what I will do first is I will show you a little bit. Maybe we start off with a complete process, and later on I would suggest that I show a little bit what lies behind all this that I show you, at least some of it. So I've just prepared a process order. I'm here in the CO6D. I've selected one PI sheet here. Take that one here. So I'm going to change and enlarge this. For those who are new to the SAP Connect conferencing solution, there is a tiny button on the bottom where you can set it to scroll. So that means that the system follows my mouse pointer. So that's easier for you to read if the resolution is too high here. Okay, so what you see here is first a PI sheet with collapsed phases, and on the bottom you see a weighing bar graph that I've created based on something that I've copied from the Sartorius template. There's a good deal of style sheet modification in this PI sheet. I won't go into much details in this style sheet stuff because that might be an extra topic at a later point in time. But just as an explanation, here these icons here on the very right side show the status of the phase. So yellow means the phase is ready to be processed. Green means the phase has been completed. And gray means the phase cannot be started. So, for example, that one here, you see it's locked. And the second icon here means that this current user is not allowed to use to work on this phase or respectively on that resource. Right. So I'm starting off with the first phase. And, well, again, here this is some style sheet modification, this title here. So this is a sort of preparation phase where I urge the user to read the SOP, and if I'm trying to not to do that,
joining conference.
RB, Patra.
Please, can you avoid talking to other people while I'm doing this? Okay. So I'm pressing the button to read the SOP. So here's some dummy SOP I'm displaying here as a PDF document. And it shows also, it's a little bit an extension of the standard function module for reading a document. So it shows the clear name of the user, the date, the timestamp, and the document version. So it shows you the very latest released version. So I'm putting my signature here, and oops, the bottom here goes to green, so the phase has been completed. And what I have to do now is I press save, and I've got in every of these phases I've got a hidden function module that checks on the event document saved what the situation in the process order is. So it checks the status of the phases and phase relationships, and if the phase relationship of the predecessor and the status of the predecessors here is all confirmed, it will open the phase.
Arnie, do you have to press save each time in order for the phases to change their statuses?
Yes. I mean, there are maybe possibilities to work with broadcasts and such, but I'm not. I do not favor such actions. It's pressing save is not a big deal. I think. Okay, so here we go, and that's the central point of today's demo here. So maybe first I explain what is the setup of this XStep. Standard XStep is just one standard XStep that you see here. Well, no, actually this here, the very beginning and the very end is a different one. That's the phase mechanism here. But here it starts, so here you see the components, the overview of components, with the total weight of all components in kg. This is just for demo purposes, so I'm pressing this, and I have got all my equipment here, status set to ready to use, because I'm using the PM equipment here for some things. Yeah, you see here one empty column, which will hold later an icon like
joining conference.
And you see some safety symbols for the materials. Some minor thing here, which is not a style sheet modification. You can do this with normal standard functionality. You can display the characters 31 to 40 here. That's quite easy. Okay. So the next thing here is I can scan the room for room readiness. For every component, there's one area like this with some information like safety symbol, some material information, some input fields which are unlocked if this status here of the room is good. And at the end, there's a room cleaning instruction here. Okay, So you see that all these components, they are all locked, so the table is not ready for use here. So the first thing I'll do is I'm scanning the room state, the room number here. So that I will do now. So here I'm choosing room 1, and the status says equipment released for production. And you see now these fields here are ready for input, but not these here of the other components, because here I've got some mechanism inside in the function modules that check, okay, this is the active ingredient here, and it should be the very first component to be handled, and the next one is the compensation material, and all the other components are then equally handled. Okay, so to be able to work here, I have to scan the equipment of the scale here. Okay, and I have to select one bin here. You can see the picture because I don't see it now.
Yeah.
Yes. Great. So I scan the bin number here. So this status here is also okay, and you see that the weighing table is now open for use. Okay, so I briefly explain the function of this table.
Yeah, genau, yeah.
So with the first button, you always execute the next action, and the action is mentioned here. So the next action is start. With the last button, you just go one step back, and the table fills from left to right during the processing. So what I'm doing now is I press the start button. The first thing I have to do is I have to enter the material batch barcode. So I'm making a mistake. So I'm choosing the wrong material here. I'm scanning the material, and it says, oh, wrong material. Okay. So choose the other material here. And here there are 3 barcodes, and that's 3 different batches. So it's the same material but 3 different batches. And scanning that one here. And here I have inside a small checking routine which checks the expiry date, and I've just set this batch to expired, so I cannot use that batch. So I'm choosing the middle one here. Okay, here we go. So, and now a lot of information is entered here. So it checks the date and time and the user here, and the room that is actually filled out here, the scale and the bin that is active here. And it shows the batch, and in case of this active ingredient, it also shows the potency. So this is just a string field, so that's why I can, with this function module here, also put some additional information in this field, which is quite good, because in other case I need to use a separate column, and then of course in the other materials I don't need this column. Okay, and here's the weight is set to 0.1 kilogram, and you see here that first the unit is gram, because this is a gram scale, so it has recalculated it. And also it recalculated the quantity in respect to the potency. So because the potency here is only 50%, it is double of the required quantity. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is I'll set 0. So and you see also here the weighing bar is all empty. I press the button, I set 0, and the weigh scale is on 0. And also some information is printed here, so the material and the batch is also put on this weighing bar. And the target is still 0 because we're not yet ready for weighing, because we have to tare. So I put the spin on the weigh scale, press tare, and I see the tare weight here, and the target quantity is here. Okay, so now I can start weighing.
Yeah.
I don't know how fast this bar is moving in the over the network, but it's really moving quite fast. It's 100 milliseconds. I put it into it. So let's assume this container is full. So I have to change the container. So what I'm doing is First, of course, I have to record the weight. So press weigh.
Interesting.
The system checks, okay, the total quantity is not yet inside the tolerance of the required quantity, so it opens up a new line, makes the booking, and I can choose another container here. So I press my cursor here, scan the container number, okay, press start. I have to scan the batch again here. Set 0 again. Tear. And the way bar here, how I've set it up here, is that it keeps the information here, how much quantity is already posted. Okay, so let's assume this batch is finished now, so I have to close this one. But I can use a different batch, so I just leave the container on the weigh scale. I press start again. Scan the other batch, which is a 100% batch, so the target quantity is much less here now. I don't have to zero because the container is still there. I have to tear though, but I don't record the tear weight here because this is only necessary here for the container. Okay, now I'm continuing. Slowly. And here we go. It's all green. Press weigh last time here for this material. It doesn't create another line, and it opens up it opens up the next component here. Right. So the system checks here the several statuses, and now the next component is open. I have to put this aside. Okay. So the same scale again. Another bin. Oh. Well, I don't have a checking routine which component, which equipment I'm scanning here. That's maybe a subject to change later. Okay, so same procedure. So I'm speeding up a little bit, but you can also ask me questions. So because there's not much of a difference. Okay, I'm scanning the material. Oops. Here we go. Setting 0. Bin. Scale. Tear. Of course, if it's overshooting, it becomes red, but I won't do that now here.
Arnie, are you talking to the scale via OPC or something else?
Yeah, actually, it's two things. So the PI sheet communicates with OPC, with the scale, I'm not using actually the OPC functions in the XSteps. I'm using a function module, so it's all inside that button. And I'm using the RFC function modules that are also available there for several reasons, because I'm more flexible there to change the data tags in between. The weighing applet here, well, it's actually not a Java applet. It's just JavaScript and a little bit of Ajax. That is doing a web service request. So it's creating a SOAP message and sends it to the web service of that scale here. But to state it clearly, so this weigh bar is not an SAP functionality. I just made it myself, and it's custom made if you want. Yeah. Other questions?
We have respect to the decimal places, like 67.20 on the weighing scale and 67.2 on the SAP screen. How did you set
Joining
it up?
conference.
Pardon me. Can you repeat?
2 decimal places or 3 decimal places? Because the weighing scale has to match up, the sticker has to match the quantity, what's on the SAP, right?
Yes. What you see here in the table actually is only string fields. So I'm not using numeric fields. Yes.
Okay.
But I didn't do a real thorough comparison of the number of digits of the weigh scale and what I'm recording here. I know that this is required for the inspector. But
yeah, the FDA wants.
Yes. But since this is a string field, you can of course check this. So you can check. Okay, what is the real value of the scale, and you can really take the exact value and note it down here. So that's not a problem.
Okay, so you are typing in the 67.2 from the bottom scroll bar into the PI sheet inside.
No, I'm reading that via OPC.
Okay, got it. With the connection, okay.
Sure.
Right.
Okay, let's just continue. I've got 2 other components to go, and in the end I've got some reconciliation as well. Okay, so let's put this aside. Choose the same scale here again. Use another container. Start. And that is the middle one here. Okay. That was close.
Joining conference.
And in the next one here, I'm doing something different. So because this is a little bit more, it's also in kg. It might be that you have a big quantity, so you decide to use another scale. So I'm scanning the scale S2, which is actually a simulation scale. So I'm bypassing all this OPC stuff and using pop-ups to simulate this. So I'm setting 0, and that's just a status I set. So nothing happens here. I just do it like this, and I'm tearing, and that just means okay, I'm maybe doing like this, and put a value like 0.1. And then I'm scanning a different scale. So this is well, it's empty, but there should be something inside now. Then I'm scanning again the other scale here, and the next bin. And I do that to show you that it's easy with this procedure to mix units also in one table, because this is all Springfield. So you see the unit is gram here now, and I do all the calculation, the sum up I do internally with the unit that is in the bill of material. Ah.
Joining conference.
Too quick. Okay, now I can start. Okay. That's it. Finished. So the last thing I do here is I clean the room. Can be just equipment cleaned, and somebody else has to check and set the status again to release for production, but I'm just doing it here now to release it to production with a button click here, and press sign this phase, and that's the weighing here. Okay, so let's check this. So here you see in the next 3 phases there's nothing in, so it's the next real interesting stuff that comes here. But what is quite interesting here is that this is still locked because my user is not suited. It's checking the HR the HR records against the requirements of the resource. So I have to leave that here and tell my colleague to do it instead of me. And that should be this one here. Down maybe. Okay. And you see this is 2 parallel phases, so I can also try to first complete that one here. Save again. Complete that one here. And so that's the last one. That's a goods receipt stuff. So imagine you've made all your pills, and they are all in such bins like these. Of course, processed and mixed, not separate like these. I won't fill them now together, but you can imagine that you have to do some reconciliation, and well, this is just a very simple scenario. So I'm just saying, okay, my bins are all, let's say, 0.1 kilograms heavy, and for each bin I'm entering the complete weight. This could also be done with weighing with OPC. This is just an entry field now. So I say, okay, this 0.15, and I have to specify a tablet weight.
Joining conference.
Like this, and it calculates the number of tablets, and it should. It should be 510. Another line. Maybe like this. It's out of tolerance. So that you might know now. So the validation is possible here. And you see here the total weight of the material, and it's getting that. So this is a separate standard XStep. It's getting that via a parameter exchange with the other standard XStep from the recipe to see, okay, what is my ratio. So here you see the ratio, the total weight of tablets against the expected weight. So you can here see it's now 22%, and let's see. Let's make it quicker. Like this. Or maybe way too much, and then I have to set this status, and that's actually a good way to check certain status conditions, to just include a sort of dummy entry field where you can have a validation which checks not the input itself, but any other status or value you have in the vicinity here. So I'm just setting this to OK, and it checks the ratio against the tolerance, and it says, okay, it's out of tolerance, and then I have to just sign this. Okay. And story here. Oops. And I can complete the whole PI sheet. Okay.
Did you create any messages? Is it production messages there?
I was just about to go to that point. So you see here, it's this process order. I'm going to the process order. Come on. Okay. So you see soon that you've got some delivered quantity. I've got some issue here, I think, because it should be much more. I think, I've created a new bill of material. I think I've forgot to set some adjustments. Anyway, the goods receipt has been done here. In the operations, you see all the system confirmation status here is also confirmed, and on the materials tab, you see all the quantities that have been withdrawn here with the PI cons messages. Okay, so that was the demo, and I can now talk a little bit on what is needed for the OPC setup a little bit, or if you've got any urgent question, you can ask them now. Up to you. Any thoughts?
I think you mentioned it already. The weighing bar was something you developed yourself.
Yeah.
How was it developed? You said it was
Joining conference.
Yeah, it's actually this weigh scale is from Sartorius, and they also have a an OPC server with some templates, some examples of weighing bar. The ones that come with it are pretty. They're not really nice. So I can show you the one that comes with it. Goes like this. Yeah. So it does not have any tolerance bars, and it does not reflect the target value or something like that. It's just from 0 to maximum of the scale. Yeah. But that was the starting point where I said, okay, I just check how they build it, and it's with JavaScript and some Ajax functionality. it's quite simple, but it did took some days. Apart from that, so of course, here in this file screen, you see my script, what I have to do when I have to set up this for demo. So of course I have to check my serial port settings for the OPC server, because that's always done with a serial port somehow. In my case, it's also an USB to serial adapter in between. So I have to check this. So that is, in this case, I've got.
Arne,
yes?
I had a question with respect to the weighing machine. What company is it through the server and everything if we want to plug it in with the 6.0 system?
With what kind of system?
What company is it? The weighing room and the scanning and all that you are doing over here? What's the company name?
It's SAP.
No, the weighing system itself onto your left screen.
Yes.
The weighing scale and all that, is it specific company, or I understand the PI sheet and all that on the right, on the left hand side.
Actually, my answer was true. I'm sitting here at SAP office, and this is a scale that is our property here, and there's no weighing room, there's no production.
Okay.
Okay, and the things I'm doing here, I'm weighing here are only lentils. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Just demo.
Okay.
Yeah, Arnie, I think
but is there any company for the weighing scale, or we can ask anybody to plug it in with 6.0?
Well, it's actually this scenario I show is a similar scenario as a consulting solution that is owned by SAP Consulting. I have developed this when I was still a consultant there. So of course SAP Consulting would be the contact, and of course you can send me a mail, and I can forward you to the proper consulting manager.
Okay.
And of course this is always, it's not a plug and play thing, because every customer has different weigh scales, and they might have a homogeneous environment, or they might have a heterogeneous environment with different types of different vendors, right? So it's in general it's easier to set such a thing up with one vendor only, with one weigh scale vendor, but might not be impossible to do it with in a heterogeneous environment.
I'll send you an email.
For example, there has been a mid-sized company in Germany, DHU, and they have chosen to use Mettler, and Mettler had a real sophisticated weigh bar, for example, and they've got a small black box which switches between 3 different weigh scales, and that's quite a nice solution. But also with the tutorials, it's quite okay. But it's always a matter of checking what the requirements are, what the setup, the existing machines are, and yeah.
Yeah, we have precision and accurate and all that in US, but maybe I will send an email to you on the benefit.
Can you say it again? What your company is?
It's called the Vijon is the main production company, and the weighing room is based off precision or accurate instruments.
And what do you produce?
We produce all private label kind of business, so health and beauty care.
Okay, fine.
HBC,
so consumer products, okay.
Yeah, consumer products, CPG, correct.
Okay.
So that's. I'll send an email to you, Arne.
Yeah, sure. You're most welcome. Yeah, just a brief sum up. So you have to check that the device settings is all correct, and then it's always a good idea to also have already have it here running. An OPC client on that machine where the OPC server is, to just check whether the OPC server is running fine. So I've chosen one of Metricon here. So you see the weight is here, and also some helping values that I'm using for the weigh bar. And then the last thing here outside of SAP is to ensure that the SAP ODA is running. And that is a small piece of software which can be run as a service or also in foreground. I have chosen to do it in foreground. So you see here, this is the command line. And maybe I'm just sitting like this, and I show you in the customizing and COPC1. I've prepared some things here already, and you see. Oh yeah, first of all, maybe that's very important. You have to maintain the RC connections there. So that's in SM59, and there's one here that points to my machine here. That's this one, and the connection test must be okay. So that's the next checkpoint here. So that's okay, and then you can continue to either the customizing here or do it with a function module as I did it, right? So here this is the example. I've set up this OPC server with that RC destination, and already by clicking here the F4 help, you see here that something is happening. So I got a request here and the result here, and the same is also displayed here in this pop-up. And you can also do a connection test here, display the namespace, which gives you already the possibility to browse certain values here, like this. Yeah, and then of course you can choose to use the customizing here to add for every OPC item. You can add an item like this, where you choose the OPC server that you've created before, and choose a tag here that you select with this chooser here, like this, and read synchronously and change something here in the way scale. Then it's changed. So that's the basic setup, and all the stuff that makes this example here. So there's a red process message. Maybe that's the PI prod message which didn't go. All that makes this example a quite handsome, nice example is done with a lot of function modules and commands and event stuff. You can imagine. That's I think the end of my story. So 40 minutes. What do you think? Any other comments? Any questions? Any more? Any more details? The X steps maybe. Shall we look at the X steps?
Mm-hmm. I think it looks very good.
Yeah. Okay.
But one question: you have a PPPI layout then, which refers to for the weighing bar then just to a URL then.
Yes, exactly, and that's also one of the difficulties you've got when you make this a real productive scenario, because you must make sure that here every time the right scale is displayed. Yeah. And, so there's one vendor which does it quite nicely, where they have a black box and only one applet, and the box switches between scales, and the applet is just showing the active scale. And normally you've got the 3 scales set up in the weighing room, and that is a perfect environment. Then you just have to hard wire the applet with that particular terminal. So that's how we did it in the implementation there at the HU. So every terminal has a setup in the machine that redirects to the proper applet, and therefore it's all okay. This one here might be a little bit difficult, because once the PI sheet is called and built up, this is fixed. All right, so there might be some clever tricks with some Java scripting to change the frame from this frame to that frame. I can imagine that, but that's a little bit difficult, I think. Yeah, but so maybe it's also a possibility here to just say, okay, 3 buttons for all three way scales, and you just press the button for the proper scale. Okay, that's not that nice because you have to do it, but that's also a possibility. Question answered?
Arne, I had another question. In the compounding rooms, in a big compounding mixing tank environment, you have the compounders with jackets working on hot tanks, cold tanks and all that. So they have gloves and jackets and all that on them while they are weighing it, measuring the temperature and all that. How can they use the keystrokes on the computer wearing those gloves? Because that becomes a practical problem.
Of course, I know that one, and I can show you a nice prototype I've created. Of course, it's always an optimum between the amount of information you have available on your screen and usability in a touchscreen environment. Because here, you see the table is already pretty wide, and if you make all big and more big, then you might and the font also more, then you might run into trouble. But with another style sheet, you can also alter not only things like this one here, but you can do something like that. And let me just show you this. It's some of my projects I'm working on right now. So that's something I imagine which could be done, right? So here you've got big buttons for adding a new line, and you've got also bigger buttons here in the line, which could be then come useful when you wear gloves, and also these here, which allows you to scroll down pages instead of using these tiny things here. Would that be something you could work with? Yes?
This is much easier to see than the other ones are so small, it becomes difficult.
But
okay.
But again, I mean, if the setup, if the information you want to show on that PI sheet is not too much, it's okay. But if you've got real big things like here, lots of information in a table, you end up in having to scroll not only vertically but also horizontally.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a decision thing. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So the question was, or I was asked to go into the XStep repository. Someone here. So this is the weighing standard XStep here. So it's quite a big one. So you see, first it has 3 steps here below, which has here the generation of this component list. Yes. And then you've got this XStep also generated for every reservation, and here is the most functionality. And so here are some things already in this instruction, and the weighing table here is that looks like that one. So some commands and eventing to make this status chain thing, so that you cannot start with something when you didn't check the room cleaning status, something like that. And of course, most of the internal functionality is in that function module here, which does all the OPC calls and does the calculations and the checkings. Any more questions?
And can you show the phase relationship, like how it's
Sure. That's phase control here. So in the phase start, I'm doing not much. It's just this one here. It's just creating the phase, the process message for starting the phase. So confirming the phase start, and it's actually done when the instruction is unlocked. So every time a phase is unlocked, this one at the beginning is immediately completed. So it's evaluating here with this small MDA stuff the date and time of this unlocking time, and then it's creating this process message. That is needed also to set the status to partly confirmed. So that's not a big deal. Here we've got the phase end instruction, and this is a little bit more. So here you've got this function module that I've already talked of, which is called on document saving and also on document logged in, which checks the phase status. So it checks the user qualification, and it checks the predecessor phases and the status of these phases. And according to this, it sets this function module sets a status that is used here in these formulas, like this here. I think that's pretty much it.
So, do you have any plan? I mean, like an SAP has any plans, like in the next version of release, like do they introduce, like do they incorporate this implicit phase relationship like classical PHEs?
It is on our internal lists, but I cannot really promise any date when we will do this. And then we've got a lot of our internal lists. So it's all a matter of priorities, not only inside our manufacturing development department, but also in the overall development organization, because it's all planned top down. And if the days are reduced, then we have to reduce, of course, as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will work. We have some more in the pipeline, and we will communicate that as well.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more stuff? Any more?
Can I ask one more question? Like,
sure.
so if I want to show additional information on the PA sheet header,
I think that can be maybe something in one of our next sessions, because it's pretty much. So I think I'll move over here to the exit panel here, where I would like you to vote for first how you rate the session, and next which should be the which you would like to have as an or maybe let's first discuss. So what should we have? Is there any apart? Please don't poll now here on the left one. Apart from these, is there any additional idea somebody wants to see on such a session? Any input?
Can we email any new ideas to you? Any next topic you want to see later?
Sure. But the nice thing here, let's just move over this here again. So the nice thing is if only one participant wants to see something and the others cannot vote on this. It's a little bit.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, you can mail it, and then maybe next time I put it on my list, and then we can agree. Okay.
Arnie, what about? And I'm not sure if this would be within the scope, but the things to look out for and be aware of when switching from an older version of PI sheets to XSteps. Would that be inside the scope of this cafe?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's called XStepCafe, but I would say it's all about PI sheet, electronic work instructions, and such. Yeah. I would say so. Yeah, we can do that, and maybe I can also get one of my developer colleagues next time for also giving some comments on that. Yeah, but good idea. I'm noting that down. So it's issues on switching from instruction-based PI sheet to XSteps. Okay, I've noted down. Okay, any so far 5 of you have voted for the next topic. Maybe you can.
Just one question. Is the XStep, you have a lot of development going on, and is the XStep the final, say, solution for that SAP has an overcomable future related to, say, manufacturing operations? So we had the ABAP list-based PI sheets, we got the browser-based, and now we have the XStep using the browser-based PI sheet. So is there anything new coming as well, or is this it?
Well, in parallel, you might have noticed that we have, of course, also other solutions up and running, like MRI is there. We've got a lot of partners with indoors business solutions. For example, weighing solution for pharmaceuticals. We've got the Verum EBS solution, which is actively marketed also from our sales. And in discrete, we've got now VisiPrice as well, right? So there is, of course, always the from our team here the focus on this core manufacturing, because it's nice for customers because it's already inside the ERP.
Yeah.
So no need for a different system. Although you might have issues with offline scenarios or maintenance ERP scenarios, which might be the reason to go for a separate system, an MES system or something. But for this inside SAP standard ERP manufacturing, I don't see something which comes midterm. I don't even know something long term. So it's nothing I say would have any value.
Yeah. But you mentioned you mentioned MI2 and so on, yeah, and all the different manufacturing solutions that partly are acquired, yeah. And I'm not sure if this is the right forum, but to some extent I feel that it is what should be recommended to a client, and how do these solutions say replace each other? When should which tool be used in the manufacturing environment? And when should we use MI2? When should we use PPPI and PI sheets? This kind of topic.
Not MI2, MRI.
MII, okay.
Actually, there has been a small decision paper, at least for this decision between MRI and PI sheet and electronic work instructions. I'm not sure whether it's released now. I can ask. Which shows the differences and the limitations of both approaches. Of course, VisiPrice is so new that we didn't prepare something like that yet. but yeah, good point. Although you're right, I mean the XStepCafe is really dedicated to at least core manufacturing. So that is what we do in ERP, inside ERP manufacturing. I'm also taking care of MRI, field enablement in EMEA, so I'm also doing MRI. I'm not quite sure whether we should extend this to this forum. Let's do a quick poll.
So I'm not saying that perhaps we should just have, say, a session on the which tool when, yeah? Not that we should go into MII in detail like we do here.
The only thing is, yeah, you're right. I mean, the only thing is I can do something with MRI, but I'm not that specialist there. Right, so I know some things there, but I'm not the specialist. Yeah, but maybe you can, I don't know. How do we do that? First of all, maybe I will stop this recording now because